Hello everyone. So I figured I'd get on here and try to bang out a stream in the middle of the day and see how that compares to the type of numbers that I get in the afternoon, late in the afternoon. And by middle of the day and late in the afternoon, I'm talking about the Eastern time zone. Right now it's EDT, Eastern Daylight Time. So for those of you on the West Coast, it's probably what, 12:30, 11, 10. It's probably 9:30 a.m. So some of you guys probably are just now getting up. If you are, hello, good morning. But if you're on the east side, it's about lunchtime for us down here. Hello to both of you who just hopped in here. How you doing? As I always say, not a rhetorical question. I really want to know how you are doing. So please, by all means, type in the chat and let me know what's going on. Offspring Freak says 11:30 a.m. Okay, so you're in the central time zone, I imagine. Very cool. Thank you for coming back. Welcome back, Offspring Freak. Don't think I haven't forgotten about you, because I haven't. I may have forgotten about some of the things we talked about, but I do remember your name, and I think that counts for something. So, anything on your mind? Anything you'd like to talk about today? Anything at all? Not a whole lot new with me, just same kind of stuff, just really busy trying to bang out some house projects. Got a couple things coming up over the weekend. I got a baby shower tomorrow, and I'm trying to finish up my front deck, all the painting and resurfacing and all that, to finish up for the baby shower that's going to be tomorrow. We're also doing a maternity photo shoot with my wife and I and my daughter and our unborn second daughter. So that's pretty exciting. So it's shaping up to be a pretty busy weekend. I got some family coming in town. My father-in-law, my brother-in-law, they're coming. The cavalry's coming, so to speak, to help me redo my back deck, the deck in my backyard. So doing pretty good. Offspring Freak says, quite well, sir. Thank you. Getting around to meet a client. Great seeing you as well. Yes, your memory counts for something. Haha. Your plate sounds full. Yeah, it's pretty full, but I really don't know the opposite. I'm super busy all the time, so I'm kind of comfortable with being uncomfortable. I actually I work well when I'm really busy and always have stuff to do. I don't really work so well when I'm just sitting around bored with nothing to do. I'm not really happy in those moments. I'm happy when I'm actually moving and doing things and solving problems. That's what makes me happy. So, but yeah, I just thought I'd start a stream up in the middle of the day today just to see, because according to my YouTube analytics, around 12 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time is when a large chunk of my audience is on YouTube. So I figured I can catch people when they're on. But here we are 3.5 minutes in, and you, Offspring Freak, are the only viewer. You should feel good about that. Yeah, last week I did a stream last Friday, late in the afternoon. Usually, like, I do these things when when I get off work for the week, and I'm sort of streaming on my way home from work. And last week I looked at some of the numbers, and my peak concurrence, so in other words, the maximum amount of people who are watching my stream at the same time was 4. 4 people, a maximum of 4 people watched my stream at the same time last Friday. So not a super large degree of reach there, but I'm not going to give up yet. I think I can. I think I'm going to keep going. I think I'm going to keep doing these streams, and of course, I think what makes these streams good, and good, obviously, is a subjective term in my opinion, of course, but I think what makes these streams interesting, in my opinion, is the topics that you guys bring up. I mean, we've talked about some pretty, important, sometimes pretty controversial stuff. So the more, you guys want to participate and bring up some interesting topics, I think the more we can talk about, the better the streams will become. That's what I'm hoping for. Whoever just thumbed up the stream, thank you. Man, I got a lot of lung butter in my throat. Oh, all right. So Offspring Freak says, I am lucky. I really enjoyed the photos on Instagram. By the way, evenings are best for me. Enjoy what photos on Instagram? What are you talking about? I'd love to know what you're talking about. What photos did I take on Instagram? My Instagram is very, very early. I'm in its my Instagram is in its infancy right now, so I'm still trying to figure it out. And your kid pics. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I got a couple of photos of my daughter on Instagram. She's the best, and love her to pieces. She loves me back. Every time I come home, she's like super excited. It's funny because it's like a competition between my daughter and my dog. You know, who can get my attention first. And I always have to be careful around the dog because he's so, he's really playful, but he's, really excitable, and he jumps and runs, and, he could easily knock my daughter over, and he has done so on many occasions. So, but it's nice. It's nice to come home from work and, have, some people and an animal and, some living beings that actually give a shit about you. I know that not everybody has that, so I'm very grateful to have that. Okay, a couple more messages. Thank you guys for your messages and participation, by the way. I truly appreciate it. By the way, 5 concurrent viewers. This is more. I'm only 6.5 minutes in, and I already have 5 concurrent viewers, which is more than the peak maximum concurrent viewers of my stream from last Friday. So these midday streams might be a good idea. Brian Yates asks, what is your daughter's favorite food? Oh, that's an easy one. She really, really loves the Smucker's Uncrustables Grape and Jelly PB&Js. I give her one of those, and I turn around, and it's gone. She really, really loves her peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Loves them. She likes rice a lot too. She's actually really good with food. My daughter is really good. She's not super picky. She'll eat almost anything we feed her, and I think we lucked out when it comes to her palate and her taste in food. Another view says, good day, sir. Good day to you, another view, and thank you for joining the stream. M8 says I or A. Not sure how you want me to pronounce that, but I or A to you too. Hello. 6 people. Hello, all 6 of you. You guys are so cool. Just for clicking on this link, just for hopping into my stream. You guys are awesome. Hello. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for your support. I wholeheartedly appreciate it. So where are you guys from? Type in the chat where you're from. I'd love to know, get more details about my audience, because YouTube has some pretty advanced analytics. You can figure out demographics and stuff like that, but I'm not sure how good the demographics are with regard to active participation, of the people who are actively involved in my live streams and participating. Where are you guys from? I'd love to know that, and I don't think YouTube analytics can tell me. Brian Yates says he's from Texas. Very cool. I've only been to the airport in Texas. I've been to 2 airports. I've been to Dallas and I've been to Houston. So I haven't really had much of a chance to explore Texas, but I hear a lot of good things. I know a couple of people who live there, and I'd love to go there. M8 says from Chicago, but living in Tennessee. Very, very cool. So you're actually probably reasonably close to me. Of course, I'm in South Carolina. Ahmed Siah says Pakistan. Very, very cool. Actually, I work with a guy. I'm actually in the parking lot of my my place of work, and there's a guy with whom I work. I don't really work with him directly, but he sits a couple of chairs down from me in the office space, and he's from Pakistan. Really, really nice guy. Really nice guy. What else? Let's see. Another view says you're from Michigan, USA. I think MI is Michigan. I think MO is Missouri. Yeah, so MI must be Michigan. My geography is not the best, not as good as it used to be. Hello. Hopefully, I hope things in Michigan are going well. And Offspring Freak says, I live in Nebraska, and in parentheses, for now. I take it you're not really sold on Nebraska. Don't love it too much. I've never been, but I saw somebody with a shirt, and it had a picture of just the outline of the state shape of Nebraska, and it said Nebraska, and then underneath in smaller text it said more corn than Kansas. So that was pretty cool. M8 says, I got a dip, but I'm going to be looking out for you. Thank you, M8. Thank you for your support. I really, truly appreciate it. And shit, man, I hope you have a great day and an even better weekend. Take it easy. Brian Yates says, what states have you been to? You know, I'm going to try to rule out the states that, or I'm going to try to exclude the states that I've just sort of passed through, because I've passed through, you know, some states. But as far as like actually visiting and seeing some of the sites, you know, of course, I've been to a lot of spots in Georgia. I've been to, obviously, Florida is where I'm from originally. So I've been to a lot of spots in Florida. South Carolina is where I live now. I've been to North Carolina. In fact, for Christmas last year, we visited a couple of spots in North Carolina, like Blowing Rock and Grandfather Mountain. Beautiful, breathtaking views of all the Appalachian Mountains. It's really cool. I've been to Washington, D.C., and then, you know, I've been to, like, I was staying at my wife's cousin's house in Virginia, visiting Washington, D.C., some pretty cool spots up there. They have a place called Ben's Chili Bowl. I mean, of course, like all the monuments and the Smithsonian and things, that's all pretty cool. But they have this place called Ben's Chili Bowl, and I had to try it because, you know, it's Ben and I'm Ben. So it's so good. I had like this, they call it the half smoke. It's like this chili dog, or it's like this sausage dog that has chili on it. Oh man, it'll take you out of this world. Offspring Steak says, dude, pleasure seeing you again. Thanks for chatting. I have to get going. Work. You and the family have a blessed day. Thank you, Offspring Freak. You do the same. Have a great, great day and an even better weekend. Promise me that you will. Promise! Continuing off of that question of what states I've visited, I've been to New York City, spent a couple of nights there. I actually saw the Book of Mormon on Broadway, which is the highlight of that trip. What an excellent show that was. I've been out in, I've been to San Diego, California. I went there for a chemistry conference. It was the American Chemical Society National Meeting. I'm trying to think of what other states I've been to. That might be it. Oh, and I've been to Hawaii. I spent 7 nights in Hawaii for my honeymoon. I was on the island of Maui, which is widely regarded as one of the most fun, adventurous islands in the Hawaiian Islands. So, I mean, the Big Island's got a lot of cool stuff too, but Maui has some specific, unique charm to it. So, yeah, I think that about wraps up all the states that I've been to. Oh no, well, and I guess I've been to Nevada. I went to Las Vegas, Nevada for 6 nights, and then while I was there, we took a van tour, like a vehicle tour over to the Grand Canyon, which is in Arizona. So yeah, you'd have to include Nevada and Arizona in the states where I've been. Let me read some of these chats. I think that's about it for all the states. I really want to go to like Arizona some more. I'd love to go to the Zion National Park. I think that'd be cool. Of course, I want to go to Colorado. That would be beautiful. There's a lot of spaces, a lot of places I'd like to go in the U.S. Let's see. Okay. Aditya Doke. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I'm sure I probably did. Says fan from India. Hello. Very cool. Hello from the USA. Hope you're doing well. Brisa Frausto says, hi, greetings from Mexico. Hello, or hola, I should say. Very cool. How are things in Mexico? Everybody doing well over there? I don't really follow the media all that much with regards to what's going on in the world. Mostly because I don't trust the media anymore. They're mostly full of shit, especially the mainstream media. Salia Sarvarnar. Sarvarnar, man, I'm so sorry. Your last name is really whooping my ass. Sarvarnavar. Is that how you say it? Sarvarnavar? From India. Hello. Very nice to meet you. Very, very nice to meet all of you. It's nice to know that, the reach of my channel isn't just domestic in, the United States or North America, but it's nice to know that people all over the world are watching. That's cool. In fact, I think I've mentioned this in the past on streams, but my top, if I look at my top countries of where people are from, who's watching my stuff, the top country is the United States, but the second country is actually India. It's not Canada. It's not some, European country. It's India. So I understand. I know that I have a lot of views from India, relatively speaking. And of course, India's got a lot of people. So But so does China, and I don't get a lot of Chinese views, at least not as much as Indian. So Leah says, I wish to meet you, sir. Okay, yeah, I mean, we're meeting right now, unless you're talking about meeting in person, in which case one of us would have to fly across the pond, and it won't be me anytime soon, unfortunately. Well, actually, kind of fortunate because, having my daughter, my second daughter, is on the way. She's due in October, coming soon. My first daughter is actually about to turn 2. I think we're about a week or so away from my daughter's second birthday party, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. My daughter has been struggling a little bit at night. I haven't had a good night's sleep in quite a while because she keeps crying and waking me up in the middle of the night after a very, very long stretch of her having no problems at night, just sleeping through the night. And I looked into it, and apparently, there is some kind of developmental leap around 2 years of age where your sleep sort of gets disrupted as you're growing. So from what I understand, this is something that's normal, but oh my goodness, it is hard to get a good night's sleep when you have to wake up, 1, 2, 3 times in the middle of the night to, change a diaper or to calm your crying little one. So running on less than optimal sleep, but that's okay. It's okay. My wife and I are reasonably strong people, so we're getting through it. So, all right. Now that I know sort of where everybody's from, I feel like I know you guys. I feel like I've known you guys my whole life. If there's anything you guys want to talk about, whether it's chemistry or otherwise, please, by all means, let me know. I'm just chilling here on my lunch break right now. As the title of this stream implies, I'm kind of just running this experiment just to see how many viewers I get in the middle of the day. Over here in South Carolina, United States, it is I'm looking at 12:46 p.m. So it's like middle of the day, lunchtime over here on the eastern side of the USA. So I'm just trying to see if more people will tune in around this time than they would sort of at the later in the afternoon. I usually do these things around 5 p.m. Eastern. And last week it was very underwhelming in terms of the number of concurrent viewers, but we did have some interesting discussions. So if you guys ever want to view some of my past streams, I mean, some of them are pretty interesting, and I might actually take a clip from it if I can find one. If I can find one topic that's particularly interesting, I might just edit a clip of it and just throw it up as an upload. That'd be kind of cool. Celia says, I've stopped my dinner to see your live video. Oh man, I really appreciate it, but please, by all means, get back to your dinner. Don't let your food get cold. You got to eat. So yeah, I definitely, I do not want to get between somebody and their food. So by all means, stop watching the stream if you want and focus on that food, man. I actually just ate lunch. Somebody that I work with, her cousin has this catering sort of business that she's trying to get off the ground, and so I always try to support small local businesses whenever I can, as long as it doesn't cost me too much money. And what was on the menu this week was fish and chips, like some fried fish. I had some whiting with some fries and some hush puppies and a little slice of lemon cake to finish it off. And oh my goodness, it was so good. It's an amazing lunch. I don't really get to eat fish very often because I don't buy it at the grocery store because my wife won't eat it. And also, if I try to order fish from some restaurant or something, even if it's good, they usually don't provide a big enough portion. I have a big appetite when I go out, so, and usually the portions of fish that I get, they're just not very big, so I tend not to order it. So if I don't order it when I go out and I don't shop for it at the grocery store or cook it at home, then I don't really eat it that much. But this time I had the opportunity to order some fish at a reasonable price, and I ate it, and it was so good. Loved it. Aditya Doke says, make video on organic mechanism. I think you might have to be a little bit more specific on that one, dude. There's a lot of organic mechanisms out there. Was there one particular reaction whose mechanism you'd like to see a video for? You want to see like an addition reaction or an elimination reaction or a substitution reaction, or I know the common ones are, SN2, E2, SN1, E1. Those are organic reaction mechanisms. SN2 is the S stands for substitution, and the N stands for nucleophilic, meaning that the reagent that you throw in is a nucleophile, or it's a place that is or a source of an electron-rich atom somewhere that can attack an electrophile, or somewhere that's electron poor. So it's substitution, S for substitution, N for nucleophilic, and then the 2 means bimolecular, which does not mean that the mechanism occurs in 2 steps. That's a pretty common misconception. Bimolecular means that there are 2 molecules involved in the rate limiting step of the reaction. So SN2 stands for S for substitution, N for nucleophilic, meaning the reagent that you throw in is a nucleophile, not an electrophile. And the 2, it means bimolecular, not 2 steps to the reaction, but 2 molecules involved in the rate limiting step. And if I recall correctly, I think the SN2 reaction is just 1 step. It's been a while since I've studied these reactions. And then of course SN1, it's the same thing, S for substitution, N for nucleophilic, and then the 1 means unimolecular, which means there's only 1 molecule involved in the rate limiting step. And again, rate limiting step, that just means the slowest step of the reaction. So you can think of the rate limiting step of a reaction as like the narrowest part of a highway. So the traffic is going to flow according to that narrowest part of the highway. It's sort of like the bottleneck. So the rate limiting step is the bottleneck, the slowest step that determines the overall rate or speed of the chemical reaction. In fact, sometimes you won't even see it termed as a rate limiting step. Instead, you'll see it as rate determining step, which is also an acceptable sort of interchangeable term that people often use. But yeah, I'm a little bit reluctant to start anything with organic chemistry. If y'all want to hop on my Discord, if you look up my channel name or my channel page, at the top of my channel page, there's this graphic, this banner. At the bottom right-hand corner of that banner, we have links to my Discord and also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you're interested in those. But if you want to hop on my Discord, you can talk to me. You can add me as a friend. You can DM me. We could jump into a conversation if you want, and I can help you on an individual level with anything you need, free of charge. I'm happy to do it for free. The only thing is that I don't always have the time. So you'll have to be patient. My time is extremely limited. There's a lot of rate limiting steps to my free time. So yeah, if you guys are interested, you can join my Discord server. You can add me as a friend. If you want to have a direct conversation with me, I think it'd be fun. I'd love to do it. So let me look at the chat. Another view asks, are you happy that you got out of public education before this Corona fund hit? Yeah, I mean, I'm just happy to have gotten out of public education in general. Public education is extremely toxic. It's extremely inefficient. It's extremely dangerous. It's extremely poisonous to one's mental health. And public education is basically it's basically like for underachievers. And, this is something, because I actually sort of uploaded like a rant on public education shortly after I quit my teaching job. And in that rant, I wasn't exactly completely speaking from facts. I was kind of speaking a lot from feelings, because I had a lot of strong feelings about that. And in that video, I said that, teachers on average are, public school teachers on average are like these great people, and they're really smart and really creative, and they work really hard. Empirically, though, as I've looked into this more, and as I've observed more things, as I've made more observations about public education, I'm not so sure that's true. I don't really think teachers on average are like these amazing, great, creative people. I think for a lot of people, teaching is like a plan B job. I couldn't do this, so I became a teacher. I think that, I think because teachers are kind of in demand, the demand is high, the supply of labor isn't super high, so they'll hire people, even people who are unqualified for the job. Some people, a lot of teachers will just hand their student a packet and just put their feet up, or they'll scroll around on their social media feeds in their classroom. And then, lately these teachers are bitching and complaining, oh, I shouldn't have to go back to work and this and that. It's like, okay, so, if the people at the grocery store, or, the doctors, or what about the freaking like HVAC technicians who actually have to enter your house to service your air conditioner? If those people had that same attitude, I mean, society as we know it would come to a screeching halt. What makes teachers any different? I think when teachers are, it's almost like teachers are shooting themselves in the foot. Like when teachers say, I shouldn't have to go back to work, they're basically just confessing how useless they are. And again, I know there's a lot of good ones too. I mean, I'm generalizing here. But if you say that, oh, well, I don't have to go back to work, but, the guy who works at the grocery store needs to stay at work, you're basically saying that his job is more essential than yours. And I don't agree with that at all. I think education is extremely essential for a foundation for a good future. But, public education, there's not a whole lot of actual, education going on within public, quote, education. But to answer your question, yeah, I am glad that I don't have to. I mean, because there are people who are in public education that are good, and they're smart and they're talented. I just don't think they represent the majority now, as I used to. But for those people, yeah, I sort of sympathize with them, trying to do all this remote learning stuff. And, it's not easy, and it's not the same, especially if you're teaching science where, like, how do you do a virtual lab where you're like mixing chemicals, or you're, how do you virtually dissect a frog if you're in a biology class? It's like at some point you actually have to, physically do the hands-on stuff. It's just simply not. It's not a viable replacement for the in-person, face-to-face instruction. It's simply not. It's simply not. So I think these teachers need to, toughen up, and I think they need to, either go back to work or, seek employment elsewhere. There's nothing stopping you from changing fields. You could actually apply. In Florida, for instance, they actually have a program called Florida Virtual School, and there's teachers that work from home there. I mean, they've been doing it for a long time. So it's like, don't try to have your cake and eat it too. Like if you don't want to go back to work, then you shouldn't expect to keep your job. You shouldn't expect to keep getting paid for not working, for not going to work. Everybody else does. The guy at the grocery store does. The guy at the retail store does. The guy at the restaurant does. The doctor does. All these blue collar guys, like the guys that service your air conditioner, or, plumbers or electricians, the people who have to enter your home. I mean, they're taking a risk. They're actually walking inside of your home, but they're not complaining about not going back to work. What the hell makes teachers any different? And I understand, schools are germy, kids are germy. I got sick a few times when I was teaching, but my immune system was great. Getting that acquired immunity of being in that environment was great. I hardly ever get sick anymore. So like my almost 2 years of teaching really was good. It was actually pretty good for my immune system, even though I got sick a couple of times. And as a teacher, a lot of teachers just want to go in even when they're sick, because it's such a hassle to make a lesson plan for a substitute, only to find out that the substitute teacher didn't actually follow the substitute lesson plan. It's just so frustrating. So a lot of teachers will just come to school sick, even if they are contagious, which is bad. I know. I know that's bad, but they need to fix the system. They need to make it easier to get a substitute in there. But yeah, I kind of went off on a tangent there. But yeah, I am glad that I'm not in public education. I'm much happier for it. Yeah, especially now all this corona bullshit. It's challenging. Very, very tough. Very tough. Good question though. Very good question. Mm-hmm. 3 concurrent viewers. I guess I had like 5 people in here at one point. I guess 2 of them didn't like what I was saying about teachers and decided to leave. Or maybe they just had to go for some other reason. I don't know. I'd love to know why people come and go. I think that'd be great. As I've been saying in my last couple of educational videos, like the more feedback I get, the more actual data that I'll have, like testimonial data, which I think is way more valuable than just broad scale analytics. Like I want actual people talking to me, telling me, how to make my shit better, what I'm doing wrong, what sucks, don't worry about hurting my feelings. I can handle it. I'm a grown-ass man. I might be a millennial, and millennials don't exactly have a reputation for being tough cookies, but I'm not your average millennial. So, no more chat messages. Okay. Well, I think this was an interesting experiment. Happy to stay on a little bit longer if anybody has any questions. Please share tricks on general organic chemistry. There are no tricks, man. You just gotta open up that book, read it, do a bunch of practice problems until it becomes second nature to you, and then you'll be confident and well equipped to nail the test. Get a good night's sleep before the test, and go in there and just rock it. There's no quick easy schemes. Like, you just have to just immerse yourself into the chemistry and keep practicing. Okay, you did all your homework, great, do all your homework again. Oh, you did it a second time, great, do it a third time. Just with whatever spare time you have, or because I understand chemistry is not the only responsibility you have, but with any time that you can allocate to it, just interact intimately as intimately with that knowledge as you possibly can. That's what worked for me. When I was a chemistry major, I could always tell which students were pre-med, because pre-meds were they were so competitive, and their only objective was to get an A. Their objective wasn't really to learn anything. Their objective was to, get as good a grade as they could to keep their GPA high. And I don't really like thinking of class that way. I like thinking of class as like, okay, I'm here to learn this material, even if I do end up with a lesser grade than I would get if I focused on the grade a whole lot. I really want to get like knowledge and skills and extract stuff from my education, instead of just looking at it as a barrier, that I have to get this A, and I'm so concerned about where I stack up in the rest of the class. It's like, no, like, just study the material, and if you study it hard enough and you practice enough, the A will certainly follow, unless you have a freaking weird professor that doesn't grade fairly or some shit. Another view says, I just got a job as an EMT, and it's amazing how call volume dropped quite a lot when the quarantine initially got put in place. Now people are starting to call 911 for more non-life threatening. Interesting. Yeah. Some people call 911 for the most ridiculous things. Like, I saw some news story about somebody who, I guess they asked for mayonnaise on their Subway sandwich, and the sandwich artist at Subway forgot to put it on. It was either the guy asked for mayonnaise and he didn't put it on, or he asked for no mayo and he did put it on. And so he called 911 on the Subway employee to try to resolve the mayonnaise issue on his Subway sandwich. So it's kind of ridiculous. People call 911 for that kind of thing. But let me open up the chat again. That's why my hand's up here. I'm trying to open up the chat. Yeah, but anyway. All right, well, it looks like I'm coming up on 33 and a half minutes, so I think I'm going to wrap things up. If you guys have any last-minute questions, feel free to shoot them my way. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap up. I wanted to, basically do this stream early for two reasons. Number one, like I told you guys, I wanted to experiment and see if I can get more viewers during this time of day, as opposed to when I normally get, the time of day that I normally hop on. And also, I've got family coming this weekend, and I want to sort of get off work as early as I can and shoot home and start helping out as much as I can. So if you guys have any last-minute questions before I hang up the stream, speak now or stay tuned for more. I guess, the other thing I wanted to ask you guys is, so on Monday, I dropped my most recent video, which was a conversation that I had with Melissa Maribel, and I really, really enjoyed that conversation. I thought it was a lot of fun. Melissa is a great, just 10 out of 10 human being. We talked a lot more off camera, and just a great all-around person and a really talented teacher. And we had a great conversation. So if you guys want to check that out, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, man, I'm losing my train of thought here. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, any feedback you could have on that conversation would be cool too. Dayton Watts says, "Hey Ben, I took you senior year at Oak Ridge in 2015. Haha, hey, what's up? I think I remember you. Is that your real name, Dayton Watts? It's hard. I mean, it's like 5 years ago, man. Like, where the hell is the time gone? But anyway, yeah, it's good to see you. Thanks for hopping in the stream. Very, very good to see you. I'm sure if I saw a picture of you, I would remember. Dayton Watts. Yeah. Well, no, it wouldn't have been in 2015. It would have been in 2014 because, like, oh, well, maybe, I guess it was like early 2015 was when yeah, it was like January of 2015 when I quit teaching. So, so yeah, you're right about that. It was like the 2014, 2015 school year. But yeah, very cool. Very cool. What are you up to these days? And for those of you who are also watching this, just to bring you guys in the loop here, I used to teach high school chemistry. I taught in the 2013-2014 school year, the entire year, and then I taught in the 2014-2015 school year. Decided it wasn't for me, left the profession, and have never been happier. But it's funny because I actually am still in, I am in touch. I'm in contact with some of my students, some of my old students, even to this day, which is really cool. Like, I have some of them on social media. One of my students I even had at my house for dinner one night, and the student met my daughter and my wife, and it was a good time. I remember we had chicken parmesan with Martinelli's sparkling apple cider and a nice Caesar salad. Mwah! So good. But yeah, Dayton, listen, if you want to, add me on any social media accounts, that'd be cool. If you're interested. I have a Facebook, I've got a Twitter, I've got an Instagram, and I've got a Discord server. So I would really appreciate your support. That'd be pretty cool. Dayton says, finishing up an AA, figuring out life one day at a time. Haha, probably going to direct connect to UCF or some sort of criminal justice degree. Right on. Very cool. Very cool. Congratulations on your success, man. That's really cool. UCF's a good school. I went there myself. So, mostly good things to say about it. Not everything about it's great, but I got the training that I needed that ultimately led me to where I am now. So, yeah, overall good things to say about UCF. And also, I take it you're probably still living in Orlando, so it's nice to be close to family, close to your support system. I hope you have I hope your mom and dad are very supportive and in your life and everything. I know that in that particular area, it's kind of rough, and there's not a lot of biological dads in the picture, so it's definitely a hardship. But I hope you have, whoever it is, I hope you have a nice support system around you to give you that boost that you need, or that could help you. So very cool though. Very, very cool. Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, Dayton, if you want to add me on social media, if you want to catch up or whatever, I'd be interested. I think that'd be pretty cool just to see, what some of my students are up to. But yeah. All right. I'm gonna get going and end the stream. Y'all take it easy. Have an amazing day and an even better weekend. If you haven't already done so, please feel free to consider subscribing to my channel. I'd appreciate it. And if you're interested in any of my other social media profiles, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or my Discord, you can find links to those on my channel page. At the top of my channel page, there's a channel banner. On the bottom right-hand corner of that channel banner are all of those links. So, all right, take it easy.